Okay, so a creator on here did a thread of videos where she's talking about this guy who was like a psychopath that she had went out on a date with, didn't know he was a psychopath, and whatever. You just check out the threads of videos. Either way, I saw this particular part of one of her videos and it stood out to me because I feel like sis was cooking.
But what's not okay is continuing to try to belittle women based off of their looks as if I'm some type of object. A random stranger on the internet calling me unattractive does not hurt my feelings. My goal in life is not to be a Barbie doll. I am intelligent, I'm kind, I'm driven, I'm ambitious. I am so many other things other than my looks. And at the end of the day, if you're calling me unattractive, you're blind or you're a liar.
Okay. One thing that I really liked about her video was that she was affirming herself and she was talking about her unique characteristics, things that make her uniquely her. And these were her prized possessions. It's not just about her appearance. And I think that a lot of times, like, especially on the internet, people get caught up in looks. Okay, I guess you can call this a part two because now I'm outside and it's a different day. But like, yes, people get caught up in looks and then it becomes their entire personality and it becomes the entire personality of whoever it is that they're dating. And this has been something that I've kind of experienced a little bit where it's like people will look at me and they say, well, based on how you look, I think you are this kind of person. And there's nothing that I can do to get myself out of whatever they've pigeonholed me into. And it's been an extremely frustrating experience because you know that whoever it is that you're with, they're not seeing you. They see you, but they're not seeing you. You know what I mean? And I think young people are susceptible to kind of defining themselves on the basis of their youth and their beauty because so many other people define them on the basis of that as well. So you have old people on the internet, on social media, leveraging a young person's beauty and youth against another older person saying, see, look, this person's better than you because they're young, they have the rest of their lives ahead of them, and they're attractive, and you're, you know, all of the bad things that one would associate with getting older. And so young people in a way are kind of put in the middle of a lot of the wars that people wage against each other on the basis of who's valuable and who's not. And of course, they're being told that they're valuable on the basis of their looks, something that fades, their age, something that also fades. And so in all of these ways, it's really easy to see how anybody could kind of get caught up into putting all of their value into superficial things. But hearing this woman validate herself and affirm herself and say, you know, I have all of these wonderful things to offer. I am a unique person. I am a specific human being. I'm not like everybody else. I'm me. And you're not going to get that anywhere else. Like, I love those kinds of affirmations, especially from women, especially from people who are over the age of 30. Like, this is something that we need to hear for ourselves, and this is something that we need to say so that other people can hear us say, especially young people who are watching. Your uniqueness is the one thing that does not fade. It's the one thing that after years is not going to get wrinkles on it. And even if it gets to a point where you change as a person, the way that you change is unique to you as well. Your life experiences, they are unique. The experience of you in general is unique. And that is definitely something that I would love to see more people kind of talk about and kind of just emphasize when it comes to dating and just when it comes to life in general. You can't invalidate me or make me feel small on the basis of how I look or, you know, something like how old I am or whether I have kids or like any of these things. You can't make me feel like I am a lesser person or a less valuable person on the basis of those things. Because what gives me my value is the fact that I am the only me on this planet. And if you or anybody else thinks that I'm a dime a dozen, then why in the world would I fight to have any kind of relationship with you? Like, why would I want to be with someone who clearly doesn't see me or doesn't appreciate me and the uniqueness that I provide? It would be better for you to say, you know, I don't like your particular brand of uniqueness, more so than to say, you know, another one of you will come along. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? That shows that me and you weren't a good match anyway. So, you know, it's something that I was thinking about a little bit today. And I don't know. I hope that more people start to see each other when it comes to relationships. Like, I hope more people start to understand that, you know, you put time into someone, you see their little idiosyncrasies, and you start to really see them as the unique being that they are, the person that has their own special spark, and pretty much just appreciate each other. You know, like that's what I hope that the language around dating starts to become. Another thing that she talked about in her video was, I'll just roll a clip.
And I think the irony of it is everything that Jerome claimed that he was looking for, I literally was. But because he obviously has been fed so much rhetoric and has so much hurt and pain within him, he assumed that I was something that I wasn't, just because he could not fathom that someone that he actually likes and wanted liked him back.
This, I mean, like, y'all, I need y'all to understand what she said. The tragedy, the agony, the irony of getting exactly what you ask for. Constantly being presented with exactly what you are asking for, and then proceeding to ruin it every single time. That has been, for me anyway, that's one of the reasons why I was like, I can't date anymore, because everybody is saying that they want one thing, and then they like, whew, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going into my own, you know, and I'm gonna get to that later. But like, one thing that I have to say is that everybody is out here howling at the moon and writing poetry and essays about all the things that they want and desire and need, and they're not getting it because they've gotten it so many times, and every single time they've destroyed it. A good majority, I want to say, of people don't need to be in romantic partnerships. They need therapy. They need to heal their abandonment issues. They need to learn intimacy and learn how to trust other people and how to express their emotions in a healthy way. They need to learn how to process their emotions in the first place. Like, there are so many people who are just completely just lost. You know what I mean? And they're like, you know, let me start going out on dates. And that's not it. That is not it. There are people who are unhoused and can't keep jobs, and they're like, well, let me find a woman or a man that's going to help me do that. Or it's like, oh, I'm out of shape, I'm unhealthy, let me find someone, a romantic partner, to inspire me to go to the gym, or that's going to take care of me in my bad health. A lot of people do not need romantic partnerships. They need help, different kinds of help. And, you know, I feel like it's kind of the same issue like with the police forces or whatever, where it's like, you know, there will be some issue in our society that you have to call the police for, even though if there was a specialized group of people for that specific thing, they would probably be more suited to that. But being that we don't have any kind of nuance when it comes to, you know, certain aspects of our society, like, we'll have to be forced to call the police to solve something that the police are not equipped to solve. I feel like I used a whole lot of words, and but hopefully you got what I'm saying. I think that's the way that we do, you know, romantic relationships in the society that I live in anyway, where it's like your partner is supposed to be some fix-all, like they're gonna be your nurse and your secretary. Look at me quoting Mary J. Like, they're supposed to be literally all of these things. And many of these things they're not equipped to do. And additionally, when somebody is like not in the right place mentally, when they're battling with their mental health, they're fighting themselves. And so if they're talking about, oh, I want a woman who's this, that, and the other, or a man who's this, that, and the other, and they get that person, they are going to be battling that person just like they're battling themselves. And so, you know, for me, that was one of the reasons why I was like, I got to get out of the dating scene, because too many people have a lot of issues and they think that what they want is a romantic partner, but what they really want is someone to punch, whether it be verbally, mentally, like they want a sparring partner. Okay, so I am back in the house. But yeah. A sparring partner does not have to be a specific thing. They could be a punching bag. And even if I name all of the specifications that I would want in a punching bag or whatever I'm going to throw punches at the end of the day, when they get there, I'm going to do what I do with a punching bag. It's going to have the same effect. So hopefully you're understanding the analogy that I'm using, but like, I feel like that's how a lot of people think when it comes to dating these days. Okay, now I'm going to tell a story, but like, and I've told this story before on TikTok, but like, I had an experience where I went out on a date with this guy. He seemed to be very nice. He was very handsome. And he was like grinding, and this was at a time where I was like on my grind as well, like just working a lot. He was constantly working, I was constantly working, and so it was hard like planning this first date. So we finally get this first date after having, you know, like a lot of logistical issues, because again, we were both like working a lot. We get on a date, and the entire date he is complaining about women these days, particularly fat women with children. Mind you, I don't have children. I'm not overweight. But this man is complaining to me. I can't get over it, because at first it was like, you know, it was weird anyway. But the longer he went on, I realized, oh, he needs therapy. Like something's terribly wrong with this man. He was complaining about how he's not attracted to women who let themselves go and they're big, and why are they big, and they expect a high value man like him. It just went on. And I was like, okay, he's on the internet a lot. And he is talking to me about his favorite thing to talk about. And he was so angry. You know what I mean? Like the nostrils were flaring. It was a really weird experience. But again, it was one of many that I'd had on dates where people who seemed normal, who put forth a presentation of being sane, immediately showed that there was some issue that was not going to be fixed by a relationship. They were not looking for what they said they were looking for. And so, yeah, and I think especially since like the COVID and the lockdown and everybody being in their houses, I think a lot of people got brainwashed while they were sitting in their homes quarantining. I think there was a lot of brainwashing going on. Either way, if you get a chance to look at Jaylyn's entire video where she talks about her experience on that date, I think it would be worth the watch. I want to say it's like an 8-part series, something like that. But I found it to be quite interesting. And it also, a lot of the things that she said echoed my sentiments about why I, first of all, have kind of opted out of like dating, really. And then also why I have a lot of the opinions that I now have, because I did the field research, and it's not just on the internet. I'm not talking about things that I just learned on the internet. I was not brainwashed by the internet. I was literally out dating, and it's very superficial out there. It's superficial. A lot of people need therapy. A lot of people are they're fighting demons, and they will tell you what they want, and you will fit that bill, and then they will start to, you know, just show you what they really need as opposed to what they want. So yeah, that's my rant. I feel like it was kind of all over the place, but you know, I kind of want to leave people with the feeling of you are enough. You know, you and your uniqueness and your unique story and the things that you've been through and the person that you are, like, that's enough. You're amazing. Like, you are yourself. That you are the highest value of yourself that you can possibly be, because there's only one you. You are a finite resource, and that is pretty cool. So, you know, if you take nothing away from this video, please just take that. Also, don't look to a relationship to solve all of your problems. Okay, bye.